What's up, everybody? It's Dadbot here. Welcome back to the next episode of the Elden Ring walkthrough. So we are finally going to be heading north of Limgrave in this episode. I could not be more excited. There's actually a couple more things we have to do here in Limgrave. There's a stone sword key door here that we have to do. We could do that now. We're going to come back and do that a little bit later. As for now, I am just looking forward to getting out of Limgrave. And exploring some new territory. So what we're going to do now is we are going to warp to the lake-facing cliffs, which is where we visited just after exiting the castle. And we are going to step into some uncharted territory for us, at least. I'm going to get my buckler off. I still have the buckler equipped. I'm going to put my regular shield back on the turtle shield to give myself the stamina recovery boost that I do very much enjoy. I'm going to go ahead and make it daytime as well. I'll change it to morning. And so just a little note. If you remember in the last episode, we got the Shabiri grape back there in the castle. We gave it to this lady. She's relocated to her next spot. So just make sure that you've done that at this point. First thing we're going to do is head right over here to this church. And we have a sacred tier. And a new NPC.
You're tarnished, aren't you? Then perhaps you could spare some runes. Believe it or not, I studied glintstone sorceries at the Academy of Rea Lucaria. For a small donation, I'd be happy to share my knowledge.
Okay, he's only asking for 10 runes.
Well, bless you, bless you. You're a true saint. My name is Topes. Presuming you're interested, I can teach you sorceries, as promised. Only, none of them are particularly great.
Okay, so he can teach you some basic level sorceries. If you have the option to give him prayer books, which I don't think you do anyways, I would not give them to him because if there's going to be a point during his quest where he leaves, and I don't think you can talk to him again in the rest of the game. But anyways, we'll talk to him again.
Apologies, friend. I'm afraid my meager sorceries are no match for your generosity. Oh, right. I can tell you what I know about this place. That should help a bit. You've seen that structure to the north, towering over the water. That's the Academy of Rea Lucaria, where we study glintstone sorceries. Only its doors have been closed for quite some time now. After they declared they wouldn't interfere with the shattering, the Academy cast repelling seals on the east gate leading to the capital, and the south gate leading here. As you might have guessed, the seals are still active, making entry to the Academy impossible without a glintstone key. And so I'm stuck here. A fledgling sorcerer with little chance of acquiring a key. When they cast the seals, I'd just popped out. And now I'm uprooted from my place of learning.
Okay, so we can ask about the glintstone key and about Selen, another NPC that we've encountered. So the glintstone key, we're going to need something like that to get access to the Academy. The Academy is going to be the next big dungeon that we go to, much like Stormveil Castle. Not quite as big as Stormveil Castle, but in general, it's going to be have the next major boss of the game that we get to. Let's ask about the glintstone key.
Find yourself a glintstone key. Without one, you can't pass through the Academy, and you'll never reach the Erdtree capital. And if you find an extra glintstone key, perhaps, once you've tied up all your loose ends, and I can be very patient, would you consider donating it to me? I know it. I'm a bluntstone. Nary a hint of talent for sorcery. But still, my place is at the Academy.
Okay, so keep that in mind. He wants a glintstone key, and then we can ask him about Selen as well.
I've taken an apprenticeship with Selen. Well, that is something. Selen was well known. The most promising sorceress in the history of the Academy. I followed her at school. But there may as well have been an ocean between us. But Selen was expelled from the Academy, accused of unthinkable treatment of certain sorcerers, under the name of the Graven Witch. I still don't believe the accusations. The illustrious Selen would never do such things.
Okay, so just a little note about Selen. Just if you recall, we first met her over here at the Waypoint Ruin Cellar, and that's still where she is. I would not mess with her. Do not kill her. In general, I wouldn't recommend killing any NPCs, but we're going to follow her quest, and you're going to want to make extra special note of that because following her quest line is going to get us one of the legendary sorceries needed for one of the trophies in the game if you're going for the platinum trophy. Just keep that in mind. So do not mess with Selen. We are going to do her quest a bit later on in the game, but just I wanted to point that out that you don't want to kill her or do anything bad to her. So yeah. All right, so that is tops. So what we're going to do now is it's hard to navigate because I don't have my map yet. Our map fragment's up there. We're going to get that in just a bit. So I'm not going to be able to mark things on the map like I normally do. Just kind of try to follow along as best as you can where I'm going. First thing we're going to do is go over here to this graveyard. There's the Academy Scroll, which will help learn some magic. And then in here, there's an Arteria Leaf. And then on the other side, so don't follow the path just yet. Go up, across over here. And in here, we have some warming stones. You can recover HP with those. And if you're playing with other people, I think it like casts kind of a little bubble, and anyone inside of that bubble, I think, recovers their HP, something along those lines. So now we're going to follow this path. We're going to get to an enemy encampment and a merchant down on this path. You see, he was about to pull out a glintstone thing. He was about to try to do some ranged magic on me, but fortunately I killed him before he was able to get it off. So these enemies are a little bit harder. You see my my jump attack is not one-shotting them, and they do hit a little bit harder. So this is the game telling us, hey, we are in a new area. Things ain't the way they used to be. The enemies are a little bit stronger here. I'm going to see if I can get a backstep on this guy. And because of the talisman I have equipped, I did get some health back for doing that backstab. This guy I'm going to try to do a guard counter. Then do a critical attack, get some more health back. So in here we have the Glintstone Craftsman Cookbook. It's for some item crafting. And right over here, we have a Site of Grace and a Merchant. So now, since we've traversed down that cliffside, we're now at the water level. And so we can explore in this watery area here. I'm going to rest and pass the time. Hopefully it'll stop raining. Nope.
You're new. Surprised no matter. No, I don't. Oh, but don't ask me.
Okay, so here, if you don't already have a lantern, I would highly suggest purchasing a lantern. They are quite nifty and giving you a light source without having to tie up a torch in one of your hands. But the main thing I want to get here is the Nomadic Warriors Cookbook. You see we can we can craft crystal darts, spell-proof dried liver, and shatter shard arrows. I'm going to go ahead and pick that up. And if you're up, I'm gonna advance it to noon and see if it clears the rain up. No luck. But anyway, the rain doesn't do much. It doesn't make anything slippier, or it doesn't really matter much for the environment. But what it does do is it makes it a little bit harder to see far away. So what you can do now is you can jump over across on these tombs. You cannot get all the way up. What you can do is jump over here and pick up a sacrificial twig. Okay, so now we're going to get our map fragment. And there are some things in the way. Alright, so we got the map of Liurnia East. And the game thinks I'm in an encounter, so it will not allow me to view my map, even though I just killed everything around me. There we go. So now we can view the map. See, there's still a big hole here in the middle, and there's still stuff over here to the west that we can't get. But what it does reveal is this all the way up here. This is a massive section of map, even though it is only a fraction of what is available around here. We're going to get the other fragments as well in due time. What we're going to do now is we're going to head right over here. There's going to be a spirit spring jump point that we're going to use to get on top of the cliff with our horse. I'm just going to run into my little beacon to take it off the map and then jump up here. And we're going to hit up another Everjail. Now, those of you who are going for the Platinum Trophy, this Everjail is vital because killing the enemy in this Everjail gives us a legendary incantation. So, again, there's a trophy for all of the legendary incantations. So if you're going for that trophy, going for the Platinum, all achievements, you're going to have to kill this guy to get that incantation. Now, if you've already killed the Crucible Knight, as we did in the last episode, this guy is going to feel like a breeze. This guy is much easier to, much more manageable to kill. But you still have to watch out for him. But definitely a drop in difficulty from the Crucible Knight. So he's got some fire spells, especially mainly these big orbs that blow up if they get too close to you. They're not that hard to dodge. He kind of swings around a lot. His flail, I think, is using does bleed damage, so watch out for that. But he does not have much poise, and he himself is susceptible to bleed, as you just saw. But although he just healed himself, jump attacks work very well. I meant to do Bloodhound's Finesse there, but I have my shield out instead. Bloodhound's Finesse works really well. I'm just going to trigger that thing exploding just so it doesn't. So he's out of flasks. He only has one heal for this whole fight, so. But you see, he does hit relatively hard, and then he does do bleed damage as well, so. I was a little bit too far away for that to work, but the fact that he has literally no poise really helps. So the thing is, those things will blow up when you get close enough. So kind of get close enough to trigger the blow up, and then just roll back, and then you should be fine. But yes, the fire here that the explosion leaves does hurt you if you walk on top of it, but not by much. So anyway, that's that. We got Flame of the Fell God. So it's going to take us out of the Everjail here. We're going to take a quick look at that in our inventory. So if you look it up, it says it is a legendary incantation. As I said, you're going to need this if you want the legendary incantation trophy. What we're going to do now, and let's see, this is going to take us again kind of to the edge of the uncharted territory, but we're going to go all the way down. There's going to be a village that's going to get us a spell book for fire spells. Gonna go over here through these rocks. There's gonna be a bunch of tiny enemies here that try to attack us. It's not really worth fighting them. They are very annoying to fight because they're hard to hit, and they hit unreasonably hard. So I'm just kind of ignoring them. And get these ballista bolts on the way. You're using a crossbow. And so this is as I said, a village of fire casters. I'm going to try to get the edge on these guys. Fighting all of them at once is not advisable, especially because they have the big guy over there too, who hits pretty hard, as you could imagine. So I want to get a 1v1 on the big guy. I don't want to be fighting the big guy and his people all at the same time. Okay, so any ranged attack there should work. I'm using a bow. Fortunately, these guys stagger fairly easily as well. So a 1v1 encounter, not a big deal, but fighting him with everyone else at the same time Not the best idea. Get this guy to come over and fight me. Whoops, I was too far away to make the jump attack connect. That was my bad. There we go. All right. So I know I'm kind of making that look easy, but don't underestimate them because they can pack a punch. Two little ones, I'm not that concerned about. Okay, it's a gesture. Got some smoldering butterflies around here. And we got the Fire Monk's Prayer Book. You could turn this into a someone who teaches you spells, and then they'll teach you those fire spells. Okay, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna get the next map fragment, which is up here. We're gonna pass by some stuff, but stay to the course to this map fragment. Trust me, we're gonna come back and get everything, but right now it's just gonna be much easier for us if we go ahead and fill in a little bit of the map. So I know we're just gonna be blazing past some stuff, but it's for the better. It's gonna make exploring a lot easier when we can see the map filled in. It is a bit of a trek. Okay, now that we're getting closer, yes, we can see right there is where the map fragment is going to be. So I'm going to adjust my beacon just so I'm going to be taken directly to it. And as you can see, there's a site of grace right next to it too. So we are going to go ahead and get that while we're at it. All right, so we got map of Liurnia North. So now we can see all of this, which is really going to help us for exploration. I'm going to go ahead and rest at this site of grace because I need to get my FP back up. Do we have enough to level up? No, we sure don't. Okay, so where we're going to head next is right down here on this little dot. Again, if you pass some stuff, I suggest just kind of leaving it be for the time being. We are going to come back and explore everything around here, as I said. But for now, I just wanted to get that map fragment because it is, as I said, it's going to help us enormously. These giant lobsters are really, really tough. If you want to go ahead and fight one, good luck. Even later on in the game, those things are tough. And where we're headed next is actually a very important step as well. It's going to get us an item that we're going to need in order to access a secret area of the map much later in the game, much closer to the end of the game. But if you don't have this item, you're not going to be able to get to that spot in the map. And you're going to miss out on some bosses required for the Platinum Trophy. And you're going to miss out on a decent chunk of the late game if you don't do it. Okay, so we have that site of grace unlocked, which is what we wanted. So we're actually going to go back off the map. The fragment to unlock this section of the map is like way up here. I'm not going to go for it quite yet, but there's this small part that we want to get to that is off the map. So just kind of track with me where I'm going. There is this tree over here. There's a rune. We're going to pick up, or no, a smithing stone rather. And so this is poison swamp territory where we're in now. You see, if you look up, we're like under this massive rock structure. And so this portion, I guess, because it doesn't get the direct sunlight, it makes the water murkier and swampy and poisonous. So definitely want to traverse this part on horseback because, again, riding on horseback keeps the poison from building up. But as I said, what we're doing now is something that's going to be very important for later in the game. We're getting an item that you need for to access a secret area later on. So do not skip this part. especially if you're going for all trophies, all achievements, platinum trophy, all that good stuff. It is dark here. Good idea to equip your lantern. Let's see here. Did I miss her? No, she's not here. I thought I talked to her. Nefeli should be here. I talked to her at Roundtable Hold at the end of the last episode. I may not have exhausted her dialogue yet. So once we unlock this side of Grace, we're going to go back and talk to her again, because she should be here. So we got a larval tier. And there is a side of Grace right here. So I'm going to go straight back to Roundtable Hold. And make sure that I exhaust her. I thought I exhausted her dialogue at the end of the last episode, but apparently not. So we have the side of Grace. We're going to warp right back here. I need to go to Roundtable Hold real quick, make sure that I need to get Nefeli to warp here. So Nefeli is this way, I think. Yeah, here she is. I guess I didn't exhaust her dialogue all the way.
It's about time I headed off. I'll see you again, warrior.
Okay, yes, it is about time you headed off. I guess I did not get that message from her before I stopped talking to her. So as I've preached before, exhaust the NPC dialogue. And Nefeli should be here now. Here she is. Okay. I just needed to get that one last line of dialogue to get her to come back over here.
It's you. Well, what do you make of it? What's happened to this village? I witnessed a sight much the same in my infancy. The oppression of the weak. Murder and pillage unchecked. A waking nightmare made by men. But this time, I'm a woman grown, and though the suffering cannot be undone, I can still mete out justice. Justice to the oppressors. Let the scars I carve remind them. I am Nefeli Lu, warrior. But this time, and though the suffering justice, let the scars...
Okay. So exhausted her dialogue here. And when we came up here the first time, remember over here I picked up this item. It's a larval tier. The larval tiers are what allow you to respec. We can't do that yet, but we'll be able to do that soon-ish. This village is done for. Please, even as just you, old Albus, hide well and still your breath. Okay, I'm going to rest. Just in case that has an impact on what happens with Nefeli. So what we want to do now is go up this hill. And there is a very challenging enemy up here. He uses perfume type weapons, and what those do is they create like these explosions. But before the explosion, it leaves kind of a trail of gunpowder. If you walk into that trail of gunpowder even before the explosion, it's going to blow up on you and it's going to hurt you. And he just totally spams it. Totally spams it. And it's really hard to get through to get an opening to hit him. So here he's coming towards me. Yeah, you see that powder he's throwing it? It's going to blow up. But if you try to like run through it before it explodes, if you touch it before it explodes, it's going to blow up. And he just keeps spamming it, and it's hard to get near him to get hits. But once you start hitting him, he has no poise. He also has a close range weapon that'll try to hit you with. If you die, fortunately, you're going to respawn right there, and it's not going to be hard to get back to him to kill him. But just a heads up, that guy is really annoying. Really, really annoying. Okay, so what we want to do now is you want to go around these buildings here and roll into this pot.
Please, no. Dear me. I haven't a clue. No secrets lie with me, not a one. Oh, please leave me be. Wait then. You're not one of them. Well, what a relief. Oh, goodness me. I am Albus and Albinauric. As you can see, we're finished. The whole village is finished. The cursemongers have destroyed everything. No one that remains has their wits about them. I beg you. Would you look after this medallion? You must keep it out of the cursemongers' hands.
Okay, so this is the Howling Tree secret medallion, right? This is half of a medallion that you need to access a secret area later in the game. So again, if you want to explore everything, kill all the bosses, get all of the trophies and achievements, you are going to need this item.
And if you should meet the young Albinauric Latena, then please give it to her.
Okay, so he mentions Latena. Latena is going to be down here. We're going to explore this area in the next episode, and we're going to meet Latena in the next episode. So this is why I'm doing this now. Even though this is kind of off the map a little bit, I'm doing this now so that when we come here next episode, we're going to trigger the appropriate sequence, because the right stuff's not going to happen unless we have this half of the medallion that we have. So we are going to do this next time. But again, make sure you get this, because it's going to impact what happens here when we do it in the next episode.
A chosen land away. The medallion is the key that leads to the city. It's only a quaint treasure for we who cannot make the journey. But for dear Latena, it is needed to fulfill her purpose.
Okay. So around here, we get Ivory Sickle. It's a dagger type weapon. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head back over to where the Site of Grace is. There's this wooden bridge that heads across. There are some enemies. Some of them can cast magic at you. Just beware. Some of them do have some range, as I said. Most of them are pretty harmless, though, so the ones that aren't attacking me, I'm just going to leave them be. This guy up here is going to cast magic at me, so I'm going to get him. Alright, so right here we have the Crystal Sword. And the Albinauric Blood Clot. So what we're going to do next is there is a mini boss that we're going to fight. Need to head across this stony bridge here. You need the extra flask shards. You got a scarab here. Okay, so for this boss, you can actually summon Nefeli. I'm not going to summon her, but just if you're having trouble with it, you can summon her. Just know that if you've been following her quest, you can summon her. Her quest line is not needed for the Platinum Trophy, but, you know, following her quest line can get you some goodies. So there's the boss right across here. There are a couple dogs that are going to join the fight if you don't take them out beforehand. So we're gonna take them out, just so they don't become a problem for us. Is he gonna come visit us? Yes, he is gonna come visit us. So again, I suggest taking these dogs out prior to the fight if possible. And I want to say there's one more. They are hard to spot because it is pretty dark. I can't find him. There he is. Can you get up here? There he is. Okay, so I'm going to go on and start the fight. I'm going to use my wolf ashes on him. This is the Omen Killer. And you see, he's got some pretty nasty attacks. He's power stancing those giant cleavers, and he has some solid combos if you're not careful. And you see how much damage he does, and these things do bleed, and he's got fire attacks. So he's quite troublesome. I need to get some distance on him so I can actually summon my wolves. Oh, he just killed me. Okay, that's great. That's fine. I've showed you his stuff, so next time I'm just gonna fight him. That's the problem with like trying with intentionally holding back and not fighting them right away to show you what they can do, is that sometimes they just end up killing you. So I gotta kill those dogs again. It is a little bit brighter, yeah, it is a little bit brighter outside, so at least there's that. I gotta find out where my runes are too. Where's that second one? There he is. Okay. Excellent. So I'm going to start things off by summoning. In fact, I'm going to shoot him first. Didn't really do much, but oh well. Make sure I get my runes back. So he's going to town on those wolves. He already took one of them out, but Bloodhound's Finesse does a bit of damage to him, and with my wolves in play, got the stagger. And you see how much easier these fights go when you have your summons in play. Oh, here's another dog. So I got the Crucible Knot Talisman. I think this makes headshots. What is it? Reduces damage and impact of headshots, yeah. So over here, we have a relatively important item here. And this might be the first one we've collected so far. This is a rune arc. As I've said, rune arcs are what empower your great runes that you have equipped. So you see we have Godric's Great Rune up there. If you use a rune arc, it will activate this rune. So what this rune does is it gives us extra, basically 5 free levels in, I think, just about every stat. So quite powerful. The thing is if you die, it loses its effect. So until you die, you have that buff, but once you die, it loses its effect. So what we're gonna do now is we're actually gonna warp back to Roundtable Hold. Since we got that one half of the medallion, there's an event that triggers inside the Roundtable Hold. So you see it's dark now. We are actually being invaded inside of Roundtable Hold, which sounds weird, but it's what's going on. And once you get that half of the medallion, this is what's going to happen. So this is not a very tough opponent, as you can see. Took care of it pretty easily. But just so you're not caught off guard, that's going to happen as soon as you warp back to the Roundtable Hold after collecting that one half of the medallion. Now, who that was, I'm sure you're wondering. Got the clinging bone. Remember that person standing up against the wall that wouldn't talk to us before? That's who it was. So you go back here, we get the armor. And so, yeah. What we're going to do now is we're going to warp back over to this spot. And there is a cave right over here that we're going to hit up. Actually, well, we'll get it in the next episode. There's an Ash of War over by the Albinauric village that I did not get, but we'll get it next time. Let's see here. Because we took a different way to get to the Albinauric village than I normally do, since we got the map fragment first. So we didn't get that Ash of War, but we'll get it next time. All right, so back here is a cave, and I hate to say this cave is a poison swamp cave. Hoi, not my favorite. And what I will say is do not roll in the poison. If you roll in the poison, it's going to get all over your body. And even when you get outside of the poison swamp area, back on dry land, if you've rolled and gotten it on your body, you're still going to take that poison buildup. What I'm going to do is equip a dagger here in my offhand. I have this one here. You're going to make sure that whichever one you equip, you want it to have the quick step skill. There's a few of them that have the quick step skill that I have. I'm going to put this one on. Reason being is because when you do the quick step skill, even if you're in deep poison swamp water, it will help you move much quicker. Because when you're in the deep poison swamp, you're gonna wade through it very slowly, and using that quick step is gonna help speed you up when you're trying to get through that area. I think this particular cave does have some of the deeper swamp. Let's see. So that's our site of grace. All right, guys, here we go. This is a slightly annoying area. These things at the bottom, I'm just going to run past. The ones that are actually down at the bottom, I'm going to run past for the time being. It's these guys that are shooting the projectiles at me that I'm primarily concerned with. If those projectiles hit you, as you see, yep, you get the poison buildup. Through this cave, there's going to be some bats. I'm just picking up the crafting materials along the way. Where are they? Guess they wait till you pick up the item. I got a golden rune tier 5. And this is one of the singing ones that they're a bit more challenging, and they give you a golden rune tier 6 when you kill them. But they also have poison attacks. Their attacks are... Oh, that one poisoned me. Dang it. Their attacks are way more deadly, and they have more HP. So my general rule when I get poisoned is I'm not going to heal it right away, especially... Dang it, I got grabbed. Are you kidding me? I'm not going to heal it right away because we're in a spot where there's a lot of poison, and so we're likely going to get poisoned again anyways. So I'm just going to let the poison run its course in this case. Got the golden rune tier 6 from killing that. Sage robe, sage armor set, serpent arrow. So see, this is the deeper stuff. If you equip a dagger and do the quick step, see how slow I'm walking? But if you do quick step, it helps you dash across. Very useful. Not so much to me now since I'm already poisoned, but I got poisoned by that enemy. And as I said, I'm just going to let it run its course. I'm pretty sure we have the materials to craft poison curing items. But yeah, more bats in here. Oh my gosh. All right, so here we can jump across. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna run straight through here. There's a rune tier 4 down here in the swamp. Unfortunately, this is not deep water swamp, so we don't have to worry about using our dagger here. But I'm gonna get the rune, and then I'm gonna go back to the beginning so I can heal up. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to run straight through this area to get towards where the boss is. Because this boss is pretty tough. You don't want to be fighting him in a worn down state when you're all beat up. Okay. So we're back in good shape. So I'm pretty much gonna stay up top so I don't get down in the poison area, and I'm just gonna run straight through, pretty much running past all the enemies here. we've already done all this. We don't need to do it again. Unfortunately, we're not out of the woods yet. This doesn't take us straight to the boss. But we're through probably 2/3, if not maybe a little bit more. I'm trying not to get poisoned again, but we'll see if I succeed. If I do get poisoned here, I'm probably going to cure it before we fight the boss. So this guy's literally in the poison. Yeah, I'm probably going to get poisoned again. Pretty much inevitable at this point. Ah, dang it. Yeah, I'm going to get poisoned. Yep. Oh, man. All right, well. I tried me best. All right, got some poison grease, and here is the boss. So, let's see. I'm going to take... Oh, I don't have any poison. I can craft some, I'm sure. Yeah. Gonna pop my physic flask. As soon as we get in this boss fight, I'm summoning my wolves. This enemy is very, very tough. All right, here we go, guys. And there's poison in this room, too, of course. This is a clean rot knight. He hits very hard. If you're not careful, he can scarlet rot you. Which is, scarlet rot is an enhanced version of poison. But you see the wolves are taking the brunt of the aggro off of me, which is vital. Especially in this poisony area. So our attacks, fortunately, are doing pretty solid damage to him. I'm trying to see if I can get him over here to where there's not any poison. So see when he crosses his weapons like that, his defense is very heavily increased. And he usually counterattacks with something. He has a very nasty grab attack where he'll stab you, he'll impale you with his weapon. So yeah, definitely use your wolves here. With the poison and everything else going on, it's just very difficult to fight him solo with everything happening. So what we got is this winged sword insignia. Raises attack power with successive attacks. So if you chain your attacks together, the successive attacks in your chain are going to do more damage. Okay, so this will take us back to the entrance. So we're done in here. Lots of fun with the poisony areas. So what we're going to do to close out this episode is I'm going to do some stuff that's related to Roger's side quest. So if you're not at all into these side quests, this is all optional. Roger's side quest is not required for anything. It's not required for any of the trophies. The rewards aren't super duper great. I mean, it's really not needed for much, but it does have a lore impact if you're into the lore, that kind of stuff. So we're gonna do it. So the way that you advance this quest line is if you go back here to Stormveil Castle to the lift side chamber, we're actually gonna go back to kind of the basement where we fought the ulcerated tree spirit. And there's gonna be something that we find there, and then we can go back and talk to him at Roundtable Hold. So if you're not into that, you can go on and cut this episode off. You're not missing any new areas or any story related story path, I should say, related stuff. We're not like advancing the main quest in any way by doing this. So if you are going to be signing off here, I'll catch you next time. But if not, we're going to uncover some stuff. So fortunately, since the ulcerated tree spirit counts as a mini-boss, he does not respawn. So what happens here is you have this blood stain right here. We can touch it and see what happens. So that is Roger. He's meeting his untimely demise here. So we just witnessed it happen by touching his bloodstain. Those of you who are playing online, you're probably used to seeing bloodstains all over the place, and you can touch them and see how somebody died. This is, you know, put in there by the developers. So this is there for everybody to see playing online or not. So what we can do now is we can warp back to Roundtable Hold. We can have a chat with Roger. And I'll show you as well. Nefeli should be down here too. She should be back. Where is Nefeli? She's going to be down here, I believe. Yep, here she is.
Ah, you. Please. Leave me be.
But she just doesn't,
Pathetic, I know.
she doesn't have much to say right now.
Please. It's pathetic.
So we'll have a chat with Roger. He is over here.
Ah, we meet again after all. I apologize for any offense given by my bearing, but I'm quite unable to move, you see. So, what do you need?
Okay, so you can tell me we defeated Godric. We'll do that.
You defeated Godric and claimed yourself a great rune. Looks like we both got what we wanted out of Stormveil, didn't we? Well done, friend. Something to mark the occasion. Go on, take it.
Okay, so he gives us Roger's rapier.
As you might have guessed, I still can't move. My fighting days are behind me. No need to be polite. I've no use for it anymore.
Okay, so we can talk to him about the corpse under Stormveil. That's what we just saw.
The misshapen corpse under Stormveil. That is a sacred relic of the Black Knives plot, as that famed night of assassination is known. It happened during the golden age of the Erd Tree, long before the shattering of the Elden Ring. Someone stole a fragment of the Rune of Death from Malekith, the Black Blade, and on a bitter night, murdered Godwyn the Golden. That was the first recorded death of a demigod in all history, and it became the catalyst. Soon, the Elden Ring was smashed, and thus sprang forth the war known as the Shattering. I once wished to become a scholar, you see. I've spent many an hour scouring the archives for knowledge of that fateful plot. The world has grown crooked, and if you intend to put it to rights, you'd better understand what happened to make it this way. And that thing is to blame for the shape I'm in now. I urge the utmost caution. Don't disturb the corpse more than necessary.
Okay, and we also can talk to him about D.
Ah, so you've met D. D is an old friend. We found ourselves journeying together for a time, bound by our exploration of death. But our paths have since diverged, never again to cross. Though that's hardly an uncommon fate for two friends. D was telling that he discovered the mark of the centipede. The centipede is an ancient symbol of the curse mark. As long as whoever finds and uses it is not nefarious by nature, then we may be able to form an alliance. If only I could speak to them in person. And if they were like you, all the better.
Okay, so that's it for his dialogue for the time being. You learned some stuff just about the world and things that have happened in the past and that kind of good stuff. So figured it was worthwhile to go ahead and talk to him. Anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to cut this off right here. I will see you guys next time. We're going to be exploring more of Liurnia and having ourselves a good old time. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you all next time. Have a great day and stay well, everybody.